So, the wonderful Chantel Tiffany tagged me in her kind of summer experiences and what fragrances over the summertime sort of take us back to better times. And as you can see, that is beautiful, isn't it? Um, so the way I've done it, I've just split it into five little kind of things and broke them down into fragrances at different periods of my life. I will tag people, but if I don't do it at the end, which I normally forget, I shall do it in the listing. So yeah, here's my little summer fragrances. So first up is a fragrance that reminds me of summer in my childhood. And we know, like, I'm banged on enough, I'm from the North. I'm from Derbyshire in the Peak District, which is just a big green national park. And summers there were long and beautiful when you're a kid, aren't they? And obviously I spent most of my time, especially on an evening like this, crossing the park playing football all day every day, or we'd sit and chat to the cows and such like. But it was always outside, always outside. And in our garden at home we had like a greenhouse with tomatoes growing, so that tomato leaf smell is very familiar to me. We had mint and herbs in the garden, which again, that thing in Legio X. And also we also had raspberry bushes and that as well, which I mean is part of the general greenness, I guess, I do get in Legio X. So that's why I picked Legio X. Don't know if I mentioned I picked Legio X from Centurion, but it's got all these green, this beautiful greenness and the sweetness and the air and that, which does very much remind me of summer evenings and best days of your life, aren't they? When you're a kid with no worries in the world, and there's the smells you smell when you're a kid, I think, stay with you forever. And all of that does take me to childhood. Wasn't, they're not going to complain, but yeah, anyway. But there were good memories, and always associated with being with my friends and just out and about in the peace and the calm and the quiet, which is why I like it so much now. And Legio does all that. It takes you like the kind of basis of the fragrance. It takes you on that journey across new, green, beautiful, quiet times. So for like some childhood summers, I picked Legio X from Century. Sort of skipping many years forward, not the best summers and memories at secondary school, but was at college and sixth form, and my first kind of holiday away, not with my parents, with my friends. We went to the Lake District, and obviously at that age, what do you think it was? Of course it was dew palm, and this holiday in the Lake District was unbelievable, brilliant. Freedom. I mean, to be fair, we'd all been going out down pubs locally when we shouldn't, at 14 and stuff. But I suppose back in them days, it was acceptable is probably the wrong word. But we behaved ourselves. They must have known. But anyway, I'm going off. But this holiday, it was just great. It was in a place in the Lake District where there's Lake Windermere. We went out clubbing, we went drinking, we drank in the flat, and the flat just stank of dupe and Lamal and Lynx, and it was just great. I think there's 6, 7 of us lads, and yeah, just a crazy time. We were all discovering ourselves back then, let's put it that way. So, and obviously we bumped into a group of ladies from the Manchester area, and yeah, we all stank very nice, let's put it that way, to make our impression. It was a great holiday and a great time, but dupe, so many memories attached to it for me, but particularly that one. It was a gorgeous summer as well, and I think we were there for 10 days or something, and it was just bliss. Again, a break from college, a break from life, no real commitments and that, just 6 close friends going out getting drunk, living the best lives of their teenage years, I suppose, isn't it, again? So for that one, it is dupe. Now obviously I've already used dupe, so I'm not going to use that again, but for my kind of uni summer years, so again, I keep going on about this. Obviously you can see there's a pattern, the freedom and the not having real life problems and stuff was just bliss at that time. And what I've picked for that is it got discontinued, and for a while I did think it didn't ever exist. But I have since, like, obviously since joining this little world of ours, I've discovered it did exist, but I don't think many people ever smelt it. And it was by Armani, and it was called White, I think. There's one called Black, and they come in a cylindrical tube, and the black one still exists. The white one, however, seems to be discontinued. And it was like, it was a bit citrusy, which I know you got. You wore a citrus fragrance, John? I did, but it was quite sweet, and it was quite warm in the base. I can't remember exactly what was in it, but I think it was. I wouldn't know this back then. I don't know if you saw the rabbit there. But it probably had quite like a woody resinous, like a light resinous base, and it was very Italian smelling, in fairness. But it was just beautiful, this warm, like a summer evening smell. And God, what I mean, memories of uni, I could give you a million, I could be here all day. But I suppose the summertime was when uni was over, but I stayed where I went to uni and I worked. So the memories over the summer period are obviously very different to the memories over the term time. And I obviously was working in the town and stuff. I made friends with lots of local people, and I really liked them. But it was obviously it's a very different night out when you're with local people. So the sort of they again were finish work, go out, drink till the sun came up. There's a beautiful park in the town centre, and we'd go up there, we go kick a ball about, just drink in the park, not in a chavving way, you know what I mean. We'd have a few cans and we'd be sat quietly and respectfully. But again, great times. Again, I can't lie, great times with great women over this period as well. Again, that carefree life, wasn't it, really? And that particular fragrance was my more sort of classy fragrance. Do you know, saying I was never into fragrances is a lie, because I think I had 3 or 4 fragrances on the go even then. Just never realised I liked them, I guess. So yeah, the summers at uni and all the crazy things I did over that period is Armani White. Now obviously, as you can see, I did things a bit slowly. I think when you're at uni it takes you a while to grow up and do stuff, doesn't it? That grown-ups do normally. But the next kind of stage, summer, that particularly remembers, like, went to a lot of festivals and things as I started to get older. This was when I was working, in fairness. And one of them was, what were they called? Party in the Park or something. It's like cheesy current music and that. But it was one of the best days out I've had, like just me and my friends. Again, don't forget we were young professionals, but you used to get checked when you went in, so you couldn't take drinking. So obviously you still got to have something to give you a good time. Not saying this is right, and I'm not encouraging it. I'm not even saying I partook in it, but certain small green balls you could get in there, maybe. And what I've picked for that is Killian Smoke for My Soul. Again, this shouldn't be a fragrance I like, because it's very green and it's almost camphorous, and it's eucalyptus more than weed, I would say, but it's a very classy green fragrance. This is not your little balls of skunk and what have you. This is a classy kind of posh one, I'd say, a more pure one. And it was the fragrance itself is just very green, and it's very naturally green. It is like being in a forest or whatever. But obviously it takes me to that particular concert and that, because it was just great. And obviously we were young professionals, like I say, but we're still probably a little bit older than most of the crowd there. But the bands they had on there just so happened to have been bands of our youth. I don't know how that happened, but they were like, if you've ever, I don't know, American people have no idea what I'm talking about, but bands like Damage and Another Level were there, which were they weren't the biggest bands ever, but they were kind of big in my youth. And it was that nostalgia there mixed with being quite mellow in the sun and that. And it wasn't long before I moved up here after that, kind of moved jobs and stuff. So it was a great day and great memories, and I really enjoyed it. So for kind of my first festival summer type thing, shall we say, we'll go for Smoke for My Soul from. And the final one is, like, the final category is something I've spoken about a lot, and I'm not going to use the fragrance you think I'm going to use, but it's like, kind of, let's face it, them kind of romantic feelings kind of blossom the most over the summer, don't they? That's a given. And like, you know, one particular, say my first true deep proper love, again quite old, obviously. Anyway, we don't need to go into details again, but and like I've always said, it's black opium. But now this is a true scent memory, is actually Rolling in Love, because of the little similarities and the softness in the air and the muskiness, and because it reminds me of kisses and soft skin and that kind of feeling. I actually think it's more appropriate because it kind of envelops that whole feeling around it, the whole sensory kind of, you know, touch, taste, smell, sights. Just fell down a hole. Right, I'm back. Yeah. Kind of killed a moment there, didn't I? But yeah, you know what I mean. When you have all them pheromones in your head and that mushy feeling where everything is heightened, isn't it? And you sort of get all them feelings. I think Rolling in Love literally recreates that in that scent. And I'm glad to see it's getting more and more popular now as more people kind of discover. Because I think a lot of people just want a punchy beast mode fragrance, and they miss the beauty of fragrances. And I think when you try a fragrance like that, the more you smell it and the more you try it, the more you understand what it's trying to say. Anyway, it's not talking about that, but Rolling in Love definitely takes me back to, let's say, all summers of love, all that kind of, because again, when we're younger, don't have as many commitments over the summer, although I did, I was at work, but you enjoy it, you make the most of that time, that freedom, that air, that time to breathe, and the moments. And like you say, in the summer, your nose works better, doesn't it? And you pick up all these, you associate these scents with the memories and the feelings more, and the touch and all that. So yeah, I'm waffling on. But for that particular memory, let's say Summers of Love, is Rolling in Love from Killy. So thanks for watching, everyone. Not my usual style, a more reflective kind of deeper video. It was a really lovely idea from Chantel, and it's linked to many kind of ideas and videos we have, where the power of fragrance and its relation to memories and feelings is quite overwhelming, isn't it? And I love to hear, it's what I love watching, and that I love to hear all them sensations and experiences people have had with their fragrances and where it takes them. But anyway, I waffle. Who shall I tag? By the time this comes out, all these people will probably already be tagged, but I want to tag Manahil from the Perfume Realm, Andreas from Servus Fragrances, if he hasn't been already tagged. I suspect he probably has. And finally, someone I've not tagged before, I don't think. I'm going to tag Joe, Mr. Fragrance, who's a new guy, Scottish guy, great accent. He's got podcasts and that out, and he does he lives in Scotland, around the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen. So if you haven't watched him, go check him out, he's fantastic. Alright, so thanks folks, bye. Oh, and yeah, sorry, before I go, anyone who wants to do the tag, do it, because like I say, I can't get enough of stuff like this. I love watching, like I've already said, I love watching the videos where you take us on a journey and we get to know you through these smells and the stories you tell. So okay, anyone who wants to, do it.